Hey guys, it's time for another episode of Churchy Words with Pastor Charles. Today, we're going to be talking about a sanctuary lamp. Sanctuary lamp? I wonder what that could be. Oh, I've got an idea. Sanctuary lamp. No, not really. What else could it mean? Ooh, I got it. Maybe it's these. No, that's not a sanctuary lamp either. Oh, I know. That's a sanctuary lamp. Yeah, that's what it is. You know, that's a funny churchy word, isn't it? A sanctuary lamp. This can also be called by other names. It also gets called a chancel lamp, and a chancel refers to this area up here on the platform. A altar lamp, because we have our altar up here. An everlasting light, an eternal flame. It goes by a lot of names, even sometimes called the Christ candle. So today we're going to talk a little bit about why we have a sanctuary lamp or a Christ candle in our sanctuary. You may have noticed it before, but never really knew what it was there for. Well, this light always burns. And this actually goes back to a tradition in the Jewish temple from thousands of years ago. See, in the Jewish faith, in the temple, they have a sanctuary lamp, and it's known by its Hebrew name, which is Ner Tamid, which means eternal flame or eternal light. And that is to memorialize what happened and how they celebrate their season of Hanukkah, which was a miracle when there was a lamp lit inside of the temple and there was only enough oil to keep that lamp going for one day. And yet God provided a miracle that there was enough oil for the lamp to burn for 8 days until the oil could get there to replenish the supply. So that's why our brothers and sisters who are Jewish celebrate Hanukkah over a period of 8 days and nights, is to celebrate the miracle of the lamp that had enough oil despite not really having enough oil. So fast forward a few centuries, and in the Christian tradition, we started somewhere in the Roman Catholic Church using a sanctuary lamp. And originally its intention was to keep a light in front of the leftover Eucharist. Now, more churchy words, but let me just explain it like this. When we have communion, if there are leftovers, we disperse those leftovers and we see to that they get used in holy ways, and they go out into the world to sometimes even feed animals and water plants and do things like that. In the Catholic Church, their tradition is to hold those elements for use another day. So, in a wall on the back of their altar space, they have a box. And inside of that box is where they keep the elements that were unused and are prepared for another time. And so the tradition became, in around the 12th century, there would be a light, a sanctuary lamp, that would be placed in front of that box on the chancel to remind them that Jesus' presence was always there and was still in the elements that we use to remember communion with. So, fast forward, now here we are a few centuries later, and this candle, we many times call it the Christ candle, and that reminds us that God's presence is in our sacred space always. Just as he was always present in the Jewish tabernacle, he has always been present in communion, in the Eucharist, he's now also always present. And so not every church you'll walk into has one of these. And in fact, not every Methodist church that you walk into has one of these. This was a design choice when they built this sanctuary, and it's just a symbol to help us remember that God is with us. And so sometimes when I'm having a rough day and I'm feeling like I really need God's help or God's presence, sometimes I'll come in here to the sanctuary and I'll take a place on the kneeling bench and I'll pray, and I can look up, even with no other lights on in the sanctuary, and I can see God's light is there, and it's eternal. Eternal means forever. And so God's light has always been there long before I was ever born, and God's light will remain here for long after any of us are gone, because it's eternal. So this eternal candle, this Christ candle, this sanctuary lamp, chancel lamp, all the names that we call it, is here at Grandview to remind us of God's constant presence and how much he loves us. So, hope you learned a new term: a Christ candle, a sanctuary lamp, a chancel lamp, a chancel candle. All those are referring to our beautiful little eternal light that we have. So next time you're in the sanctuary, take a look up and reflect on why we have it here, and think about, why do we have an eternal flame? Well, it's because God's love for us is always here. All right, hope you guys have a great week. See you later.